Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you don't know, my name is Sarah. I create videos on YouTube for fun. I do projects videos with my knitting and my crochet and then my art and whatever else I feel like sharing. Today I'm doing a vlog to try to re-inspire myself to knit. I wouldn't say I've completely lost my knitting mojo, as they say, but I haven't really wanted to pick it up. I want to knit because I want to move on to new projects and I want to be working on things and making things, but every time I sit down I'm just like, I don't want to. Part of that is I've just been really tired. I have not gotten a proper amount of sleep in a while. We've had some sickness in the house, we've had my nephews, and then I now have to wake up in the middle of the night to give my youngest medication in his eye. That's a story we'll get into at a later point. But I'm just not sleeping. So it takes energy to knit. Not much, but it does take energy. It's more mental motivation, I think, and I haven't had that. So I'm hoping doing a vlog will inspire me to want to knit more, but we'll see. Let's start by showing you what I currently have on the needles and the hook. So first thing is my Terrazzo sweater by Petite. This is knit out of Knit Picks High Desert Tweed, which is a US wool. It's a merino. It is fabulously soft. It has been gifted to me, just so you know. It's not something I paid for. So I finished the sleeve today. All I had to do was bind off. I'm not sure why I didn't bind off the other day. No, I have no idea. But then today I frogged the hem that I had. I had done a split hem, a very deep split hem, and I wasn't digging it. The Terrazzo sweater doesn't have that. It just has a pretty regular hem from what I'm recalling. But I wanted something like really big and chunky, and it wasn't vibing with the rest of the sweater. So I have frogged that, and now what I'm gonna do is a nice deep scoop on the back hem, but I'm thinking not just straight on the back. I'm thinking having it come pretty far forward and the nice gradual, so it's not just the back part of it. It'll kind of come from the front and slowly gradually go to the back. That's my thinking. And then have a 2-3 inch ribbing on the bottom. That's the plan. And my very loose goal for this project is to have the hem done. It is going to be a decent amount of knitting, but a lot of it is going to be stockinette. So it should go okay. We will see, but I would like to get that done in about a week. We'll see. Anyways, the next project I have is my Limonata, and I have not put any more into the actual, I haven't joined any more to this since my last projects video, but I have put a good amount of work onto motifs. I have about 30, 32, something like that, circles here that have their ends woven in. I'm gonna put those into its bag so I don't lose them. And then I have 9 circles here that I've crocheted and I'm not woven in the ends too. So the goal I think for this one is to weave in the ends for these circles and then maybe start joining all of these on. I am pretty sure I need 16. Hold on, let's count. I need 16 circles per round. So I should be able to finish the body up with what I've got of that, at least the stomach part of the body. And then a little bit more than that. So the pattern has 3 rounds of motifs for the lower part of the body. I'm gonna add an extra round just because I want mine a little bit longer. So that's what I'm gonna do, and the amount of circles I have there should be able to complete that. And yeah, I would like to, I think, do that this week. Finish up the bottom portion of the body. I'm very excited about this top. It's probably not one of those I'll wear very often, and maybe more to like fiber festivals and maybe like at the beach. It's not one of those I see myself wearing all the time, but I am excited to have it, and it's just something fun and unique. And if it's something I try and I'm like, heck no, I'm not wearing this, I have like some sisters-in-law I'm sure would be interested in it. I cast on Sunday a new sock. I was making the day trip socks by Rundle Knitting, and they're a beautiful textured sock. I'll talk more about it in my next projects video, but I was gonna knit the second sock, but there's reasons I decided not to. Nothing to do with the pattern at all me. But I wanted to use the yarn, so I cast on a new pair of socks that are just stockinette. I've determined I am a stockinette sock person. I like stockinette socks. And if I'm going to do something funky or different, it's like a small element. Like I have a pair of socks where I have a faux cable that goes down the back of the sock, or I do funky colors or stripes or that sort of thing. I've determined I am not a pattern sock person. I like stockinette socks. I like wearing stockinette socks. I like the look of stockinette socks, and I like knitting on stockinette socks. So that's what we're gonna do. But Sunday I cast on Saturday night and did just like a couple of rounds of the ribbing, but then knit from like all of that down to the stitch marker on Sunday, and then yesterday knit a little bit here. This is my out and about when I'm running errands or I'm like hanging out with people. I have something to knit on that's stockinette and simple, and I don't have to think about it. Yesterday it did have some work put on it at multiple doctor's visits. I guess I can just go ahead and tell you now. My kiddo, my youngest, got scratched in the eyeball by our cat. Very kind of her. It was literally the middle of the night. He comes into our room, presumably for a nightmare or something. He was trying to climb on the bed, and he kept trying and he kept trying. He wasn't quite getting up. My husband called him to his side of the bed, but he didn't hear him or was that determined to get up in that spot. Well, the cat decided she didn't like that, and so scratched him in the eyeball. The brat. I'm so irritated at her. She saw him. She knew he was there. There's no way she suddenly, after like several minutes of him trying to get up, decided to scratch him. So, I mean, it probably wasn't several minutes, but you know what I mean. Dramatic effect. Anyhow, she scratched. So Sunday, he seemed fine most of the day. It was a little red and irritated. He complained a little bit of some pain, so I gave him some Tylenol at bedtime. In the morning, he woke up, his eye was extra red, and he had it was all gross and crusty. I wiped it clean, but I called the walk-in clinic and was like, should I bring him in? They're like, yes, we require you to come in for any sort of eye injuries. We went in. The doctor, well, first we come in and he's in the waiting room and he ends up with a bloody nose. Poor kid. He does have a tendency to get bloody noses, and it was really dry in there. Even my nose was starting to get a little, itchy. So, anyhow, he got a bloody nose. We went to the back. It's fine. He had a fever, which I thought was odd. He wasn't complaining of any other thing. While we were there, the doctor asked him a few questions, to which he did not answer the right question. He answered a different question. And I was like, sorry, he's kind of had plugged ears because we have bronchitis. And he's like, oh, let's take a look at his ears. He took a look at his ears. He has a double ear infection, hence the fever. Okay, so he has a double ear infection, takes a look at the eye. He was concerned about the scratch that he saw. He said it seemed kind of deep and almost like there was a bit of a flap. So he was like, let me call our eye specialists and see what they think, and go home, I'll give you a call. So he he called and none of the doctors in our area would look at him because he's a child, so they recommended us to Seattle Children's and told us we needed to go into the ER for that. So went to the ER at Children's. They took a look at it, and it turned out he actually had a couple of scratches, including one across his pupil, but it thankfully wasn't like too deep to do any like serious damage. Their main concern was because obviously a cat who carries all sorts of crap and things in their claws, they were worried about infection, so they gave me a salve that I have to put in his eye every 6 hours. That will just fight any infection that he could end up getting because of the cat. So, yes, I have to give my kid this every 6 hours, including in the middle of the night. So, yes, I will be waking up every morning at 2 a.m. to an alarm to give my kid some stuff in his eye, which does not make a 4-year-old very happy. It's not good. So anyhow, brief detour there from the knitting, but it's affected life the last day. So yeah, he has seemed to be a bit better today, thankfully. He was in some pain this morning, and he did get sick from some of the medicine he took, but he seems fine now, and he's doing good. Just a little bit stressed over here. It's fine. But because of all the stress and this stuff yesterday, I came home and was like, I don't want to touch anything that I'm currently working on. I want something new. So I cast on a new project. And of course I'm mid-row. But there's not much to show anyways. So, but I have started a baby blanket for my future niece, whom my sister is currently pregnant with. So I am making her a blanket, and I am using Drops Paris. It's 100% cotton. It's really nice and like soft. It's not like a super soft like Egyptian cotton or anything, but it is very nice. So I have the white, but then I'm gonna do a rainbow because babies in rainbows, that's fun. I didn't buy your typical red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple that you would normally find in a rainbow. I mean, it's not that original, but I got, let me try and hold them up here. Rosy pink, a rust, a mustard, an olive, and a very pretty pale blue. So this is going to be my rainbow in her blanket, and I'm very excited about it. How pretty is that going to be? So we'll start out with the pink and then make our way, and then kind of the middle of the blanket we'll have the blue. And then I'm kind of going to make it a little bit asymmetrical. So it'll have a little bit of white, it'll have the rainbow, and then a big chunk of white at the end. So yeah, I'm very happy with these colors. They are pretty true to online, which I'm happy with. It's knitting up really quickly. I mean, I just did this last night and I made pretty good progress on it. It's mostly going to be garter stitch, and then I'm not sure how well you can tell because the lighting is it just got weird in here because the sun went behind a cloud. But there's going to be like a stockinette frame around it. But it's got the stockinette along the bottom, and then it'll have the stockinette at the sides, and then again at the top. So something simple, nothing super fancy as far as like the texture, the patterning. I just cast on 100 stitches. Yeah, baby blanket. No, I don't have any goals for this really. I mean, I didn't mention either with the socks. I also don't have any sort of goal for the socks because that's just my knit when I'm out and about or I feel like it. So with this one, I don't have any set plans for. I mean, maybe I'd like to finish this week with a couple of the colors, which shouldn't take me very long, but also, again, I'm not in a hurry. It's Aran weight yarn, so it goes very quickly, and I'm knitting on, I think 6mm. Yeah, 6mm, so it goes pretty quick. But anyhow, I think that's it for now. I'll check in as I get some more work put in on these and see how much knitting I can actually get done in a week, and see if I can get myself motivated to work on some of this stuff. Maybe even do a little spinning. That could be enjoyable too. Maybe I'll also do a little spinning. We'll see. Day 2 is Wednesday, and I have done a bit of knitting and crochet. However, I did not crochet on what I thought I was. I didn't put any work on my crochet top, my Limonata, but I did put some work on my blanket. I put 2, 3 rows, something like that, on this yesterday, and was actually going to do more, but we had group last night, and I was sitting in one of the chairs where I could kind of have my blanket and was crocheting along, but then some more people showed up, so I took to a smaller chair and didn't have space to take my blanket with me, so I put some work on my sock yesterday, which I was not anticipating. So I did knit about an inch-ish. I am gonna put maybe 3 or 4 more rounds on this, and then it'll be ready for the heel. So I think I'm going to do those few rounds here at home, and then get my second sock needle set out, and then cast on the second cuff so I can get the second leg going. And then I've been working on my sweater. I am currently now working the short rows. I did from yesterday. I knit most all of that. I have knit a little bit of this today. I think I knit like maybe 3 rows on it. I just have this marker here marking how long my short rows are going. So that's about the depth of my short row so far. You can kind of see here, here's the front, here's the back. So we're getting a nice little scoopy scoop there for the butt, which I'm very happy about. So yeah, it's just a quick pop in for now. I'm hoping I can get in a little knitting times tonight. Every day I've thought, oh, I'm gonna sit and knit, and then something goes on. I ended up painting today, which it was actually very nice to sit and paint for a little while. And then I mowed our lawn. And then once my husband gets off work, we're gonna go to the bookstore. So yeah, I will hopefully get in some knitting though when we get home tonight. Today's Friday. I have a quick update. I have started my third row of my Limonata. I have half of them on here. I have 8 of the 16 that need to get put on. I probably could have done more. I had more time, but I was getting bored of joining circles, so I stopped. But I have made a little bit of progress on that. Then I last night put some work on the baby blanket. I have this Hello Lavender stitch marker that my sister gifted me. But I knit from there to there on it. This thing is so drapey and so nice. Yeah, it's gonna be fabulous. The thing I've been putting the most work on is my terrazzo. I want to put about 20 rounds of ribbing on this. I have 13 done on here, so about 7 more to go. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get that done today and bind that off. And then I've come to the conclusion that I 100% am going to redo the turtleneck. I really want it to be a little bit bigger and wider, not so close to the neck. It's not going to be tight on my neck with blocking, but it's still going to be closer than I want it. I want it to have that really oversized, chunky look. So as soon as I'm done with the hem, I'm going to rip out and redo the neckline. I could save that for the end, but if I save redoing finishings for the end, it might not get done. So I know the sleeve is exactly how I want it, and it's quick and easy, so figured neck first. And I'm really dreading ripping out all of this 2x2 rib because it's basically almost a hat that I've knit here. So it's making me a little sad that I need to rip that out, but I really love this yarn and really want this sweater to be exactly, fit exactly so, which means I'm gonna have to do some ripping out. But already with the hem, I'm very happy that I've ripped out and I've done the scoop. So I know I'm gonna be happy with ripping out the neckline and redoing that. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good though. Nice scoopy hemline. I cannot wait to wear this. I definitely think doing this video is helping motivate me. Anyhow, I now have to go take my kiddo to a follow-up appointment for his eyeball. It is looking better. We had a couple of days there where it was looking really rough, really bad. I even called the doctor and sent photos, and but he's got an appointment today and it's looking good. So gonna go head to the doctor's office now. Yay. And then back to knitting later. Alright, today is Thursday. The plan was to wrap up and show all the things I'd worked on Tuesday. Well, in my mind, yesterday was Tuesday. So I recorded yesterday and then was like, oh, today's Wednesday. But once I got the footage onto my computer, the amount of background noise. I have a tendency to hyper-focus or not be able to focus while I was so focused on talking and showing, and I didn't realize that there was a lot of background noise. My husband works from home, so you could hear a phone conversation that he was having, and then at the other end of the house, a kid was had a Star Wars blaster that was just going off nonstop. I had my headphones on editing, and I'm like, this is too much. This is too much. So here we are on Thursday, wrapping up this week-long video that's a little longer than a week, but that's okay, right? Yeah, that's okay. That means I've made a teeny bit more progress on a couple of things. So, to recap, I did this video to help inspire myself to knit. I am not the type of person to force myself into knitting to create content, so it wasn't a make myself do this so I can make a video. It was, let's make a video to inspire myself to want to make. And that's what I did. If I had gotten into it and then realized I really don't want to do this, I wouldn't have done it. But it did get me excited about knitting again. So I will show you first my Limonata, which I had set a loose goal of finishing joining 4 rounds of motifs, and I did not make that loose goal, and that's okay. I did get most of my 3rd round. So here we are. Got most of it done. I'm not bothered that I didn't make that little goal because, well, I'm not in any hurry for this, and yeah, there are some days I get very excited about this and it's all I want to work on, so I'm not worried about it at all. Socks. Okay, I finished the leg and heel on the first sock, so that's looking really good. I also have cast on the second sock. I only have the beginnings of the cuff, so there's nothing a whole lot to show, but the second sock has been started. I like to knit 2 at a time simultaneously. Normally I would knit the cuff, stop, and then knit the whole cuff, and then knit the leg, and then knit the leg, and then knit the heel, and then the heel. But I didn't do that this time. I got this one started and then needed something to knit on that was easy, so I just kind of got going on this. So the second sock kind of is a little behind what I usually do, but that's okay. I'm happy with the progress I made on the socks. Those are just my take wherever I go, so those didn't really have a goal for them. But I'd say I made more progress on them than I thought I would have. Now, my Terrazzo. This one I made a lot of progress on. Now, to be fair, I'll show you in a second. I I did make more last night than what I had shown in my original video I recorded yesterday. But that's okay, because that means more knitting to show. But my goal for this was to finish the hem. And then I had finished the hem and I said, okay, now I want to do the neck. So the hem is finished. Hem, I knit from this little stitch marker on down, did the hem. And then I did frog and redo the neck on this. And it fits way, way better. It's not as tight and close to my neck. And it just feels a little bit more relaxed, and it's one of those where I can either have it open, like once it's blocked it'll be even more relaxed, so it can either kind of slouch open or I can fold it. Yeah, and it's not too tall. My neck isn't very long. I have a kind of a short neck and my torso is just short, so I didn't make it too long because I didn't want it up in my face. I just wanted it on my neck, not my face. So it's not a super long turtleneck, I'm sure, compared to what some other people make, but again, there's not a whole lot of space here. After I did that, well, I've gone and almost finished a sleeve sitting on the needle. Yeah. Yesterday I had just started here. Well, I made it all the way to the ribbing. Just started the ribbing there. So yeah, I'm going to, as soon as I'm done recording this, and like while I'm editing, I will knit on this, and then as soon as I'm done editing and it's uploading and exporting, I will work on this and finish it so I can start blocking it, because it is a beautiful sunny day and it's supposed to be like 80 today, so I will be able to put it outside and it will dry hopefully very quickly. I won't be wearing it because it's going to be 80, but evenings are still very cold, so maybe I'll cozy up in it tomorrow. I'm not sure it'll be dry today. We'll see though. We'll see how quickly I get it done. But I'm very excited about this. It will be done for next week's projects video, which will be really fun. Okay, now the big surprise is the baby blanket I'm making for my sister's little one. Now this one also had no goal, minus a loose one of maybe I can finish a color or two on this. I finished all the colors. I was not anticipating finishing all the colors at all, but oh my goodness, how lovely is this rainbow? Again, I didn't go for your traditional, I mean, it's not super original or anything. I just mixed up kind of like these two colors. I did a pink and then a rusty orangey red in place of the orange, and then like mustard and olive and the baby blue. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. I do have ends to weave in. I wove in the ends at the beginning, but then didn't continue weaving in ends. I did tie little knots just to keep it from like spreading out and unraveling. But yeah, I am undecided. I'm thinking I might crochet or knit a border on it just because it's got a little bit of flipping. In my mind, this stockinette portion was going to do what it did down here where it's inset. So in my mind, this was also going to be inset, but it's not, obviously. And it's curling. Curling is not my favorite. I mean, we'll see with blocking if that chills out or not. But I'm thinking a border might be kind of cute. I could do something kind of like frilly, you know, for the little baby girl. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Once I'm done with the white, we'll see how much yarn I have left over, and we'll kind of go from there. Well, I think that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week little recap of what I've been working on as I was working on it. And if you like this kind of content, you know, hit that like and subscribe, you know, all the normal YouTube-y things that you do. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and we will see you next time. Bye.